How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today there's a lot of little things that we got to get done on the CRX, so let's roll that intro and get into it. So last time you would have saw we got the interior basically sorted out. This is kind of exactly how we left it. Got a lot of progress done, but basically we got to finish up the center console here, and the passenger seats got to go back, and then we just got to do a bit of a cleanup in here, and then it'll be done. So I'm going to tackle that right away, get that done, and then can move on to some other stuff.
One eternity later.
Well, guys, I got a little distracted, and well, the inside of the car is a mess right now. So I figured, why bother putting the seat back in when we're gonna have to take it out anyway to remove all the sound deadening? So I started getting to work on removing the sound deadening, and there was still some of the HVAC stuff left, as well as the heater core. So I got to work removing that, and we all know how heater cores come out. They never come out in one piece. So yeah, I ended up having to smash this thing to get it out, but it is out now. So heater core is gone, blower fan is gone, so under the dash is looking pretty clean. There's also this other sound deadening up against the firewall and stuff, so I removed all of that. So yeah, that was a big job, but everything is basically removed now. I just need to get this all cleaned up. All right, guys, so I got everything cleaned up and it's just laying here right now because I'm curious to know how much this stuff weighs. So I got my fishing scale here. All right, so this is just the blower motor. That looks to be about 6 pounds. Now I've got the heater core, or what's left of it anyway. That's just under 5. I'll say 4 pounds. Okay, so we're at 10 pounds so far. In this garbage bag is all the little stuff and everything I vacuumed up. So I just put it all in this garbage bag. Okay, that's about 18. And then we just got the ECU cover here, which probably doesn't weigh a whole lot. That's about 2 pounds. So grand total is 30 pounds saved.
The next day.
Oof.
It's not pretty.
That is not ideal.
Sweeping up a mess. Sweeping up a mess. I'm doing the hours. Sweeping up a mess.
Yeah, actually, this side isn't bad at all. This is mostly just dirt. If you have a look at this rocker here, yeah, it's rusty, but it's still there, at least. But if we have a look at the driver's side, as you can see by the pile of rust on the floor, there's not much rocker left here to deal with. So we have ordered new rocker panels. They are on the way, should be here this week. And then we can get those replaced because that is not gonna fly. And then looking inside the car, we got a little bit of issues here too. So this is probably the worst part on the floor itself. It has not gone all the way through, so it is a bit soft, but it's not all the way through. So I think we're just gonna patch that part. And then because we have lines running past here, I don't want to do too much welding over here, but we do have a couple rust issues. There's one here, and then on this side, it's actually going right through, and you can probably see daylight through here. Maybe you can see my fingers through there. Yeah, so we're gonna have to patch this up somehow. And then the passenger side isn't really that bad at all. We've got a couple holes here, probably the same idea. We're just gonna patch those up, preferably without welding because we do have lines running past here as well. All right, guys, so now we're trying to figure out how to get this shifter linkage in here. So when we first got the car, it was just attached with a bunch of wires. I believe there was a cover here that's for the automatic transmission, which this car used to have. So we removed that now, and we can actually get the factory bushings from the manual car to fit in here. We just had to drill out these holes a little bigger so the bolts would fit through. Tim's underneath right now, poking through. Seems to be working, so I'm gonna start threading these nuts on here.
Yeah, that'll work.
I think that'll work quite all right. Okay, so now we got this in place, and there's still slop in it, but you can at least tell when you're in gear.
Well, this joint down here is sloppy.
So what do we do to fix that? Is it like the bushings or what?
Yeah, I'd like to take it apart and see what we're dealing with. So, in fact...
Because like this is neutral right now, but I put it in first, and it still seems like it's neutral.
I slid that bolt out.
Oh geez, okay, well that's a problem.
So that'll be the first problem. Second problem is this bushing. The bushing has some play. So this is the bushing.
Yeah.
It's kind of rusty.
Yeah, I mean...
It'll work.
I think the worst part is probably just that bolt being loose. Alright, so we got some advice from one of our pro race car drivers, and he recommended to take the sway bar out. So that's what we're doing. So you can get a little more body roll, and that the wheels in the front will be contacting the ground more.
I think the big thing is they don't, it won't transfer momentum from one side to the other.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll get the rear end kicking a little more. You get a little more counter steer. Oversteer? Understeer. Understeer, bad. Oversteer, good.
Oversteer is drifting.
Yeah, you'll get a little more oversteer in your front wheel drive, which is helpful.
And it's cool to drift your front wheel drive. Alright, so this car did not come with a flywheel cover, and for the racing that we're going to be doing, we're definitely going to want a flywheel cover.
Yes.
And we didn't actually have one that fit properly. We tried K series, H series, and we had a couple D series ones which did not fit. So we modified the K series one a little bit, drilled some extra holes, and
that's gonna do her. We need one more hole here.
Yeah.
Fasten that in, and that'll keep 99% of the dirt and gravel out.
Alright, so we got the flywheel cover installed on the bottom. It works pretty good. I think it'll be just fine. Now we're trying to sort out these engine mounts, because most of them were only finger tight and none of them really lined up very well. So the front engine mount we cannot get to line up at all. This is kind of what's left of the bushing that's in there. So I think we are just going to leave the front engine mount out, because we're going to have one on each side plus the back mount. That's all my car has, and that's got an H series in it, which weighs twice as much as this engine. So I think we're going to be okay this way. So we were trying to figure out this mount because it looked really crooked in there, and the way they had it mounted actually ended up cracking and breaking off a piece of it. So we're going to try rebuilding this. We're going to weld a piece on here to kind of close that up again, and then see if we can get it bolted back up the way it's supposed to be. All right, guys, so just got finished welding up this motor mount here. So we basically cut off this piece that was broken, and then we cut ourselves some pieces out of steel plate and kind of sandwiched them together, and then we just welded it all together. So this should be pretty solid now. We drilled it out to oval it the same way it was from the factory. So yeah, we're just gonna put this back in there, thread it all up.
Let's do it.
And yeah.
We're kind of hot. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Okay, there we go.
Call that tight. That's engine mounts, Tim.
Yeah. Let's get Bertha here and give the engine a bit of a wiggle.
How solid is it?
That's plastic.
It's all plastic. That's what I was telling you before.
Oh, she's got some wiggle.
Yeah.
She's got some wiggle. And it's all the mounts. It's the rubber in the mounts moving.
Yeah, they're all pretty shot.
Yeah. So the next step would have to be replacing mounts or making our own solid mounts.
Getting some urethane mounts. All right, guys, another update. So something else that was on our list was to get an intake finished on here. So I had this old piece of intercooler piping laying around, which actually fit perfect on here. We had an old coupler sitting around. Well, actually it was a 90, which I lopped the one end off to turn it into a straight. 2 hose clamps there. Found this pod filter in my basement. It was attached to my AEM. It came off of my EP3. So we grabbed the filter off of that, which the filter is pretty trash anyway, but it'll work just fine for what we're doing. It'll keep the gravel out. So we got a junkyard intake done.
Cost us a whole $0.
$0.
A couple hours of our time.
All this is, instead of welding a nipple onto here to fit this hose on here, we just drilled a hole and the hose fits in there pretty snug, so it's not going to go anywhere.
And you know what that means, Matt?
I know exactly what that means.
It means another thing to mark off this list. That's 2 things in one day.
That's pretty good.
That's good for us.
The next day.
All right, Tim, what do we got here?
So we've been collecting a bunch of parts, used parts from the local classifieds and some new parts as well. Starting off with a set of Steelies. This was all a bonus to what we bought. This guy just threw this all in. It's pretty rad. The legit thing that we bought is
check it, guys. Oh yeah.
So we got these NKs. As you can tell, I'm a weak man, but I can hold this easily. These things are wicked light.
They're made for racing from the looks of things.
And they got some decent tires. So we got this full set of wheels and tires, a set of extra Steelies.
Plus this. What do we pay? 120 bucks?
We did, yeah.
That's sick.
That's a good price for wheels. Yeah, that's going to get us going. And we also have the wheels from this car that we're going to end up selling. Some RTX. So if anyone wants these, hit us up. 17-inch by something. 17 by 7.
Then Rock Auto hooked it up, eh?
Oh, yeah, we got some new parts. Oh, I like your outfit.
Check it, guys.
Dude.
With the gats.
Super 80s. That's wicked.
All right, what do we got here?
So we have a bunch of new parts. We got wiper blades, because you need those when you're racing in the dirt. Brake pads. We got front rotors. We got rear brake shoes. We got fuel filter, and then we got all new struts. 20 bucks a piece, which is ridiculous. They're probably the worst struts you can buy, but
nice.
Oh, sorry about that. So these are the rear. These are the rears. This is legit for real. Okay. Brand new rotors. Nothing but the cheapest ones we can find.
That'll work.
That'll work, yeah, as long as they work. I think all of these little set screws are going to come out with no issues.
I bet major problems, and we're going to have to drill them out.
Okay. 1.
Dude.
Numero 2. 2. All right.
I love being wrong, Tim. Whoa. See, this side's in a lot rougher shape, too.
All right.
Hokey Dinah.
That's good. 80 horsepower V8 right there. Last one.
Our car is losing rust again.
Dude. All of them are coming right out.
That's sick.
True. So you're saying stab your wrist.
Yeah.
Or break your Apple Watch.
Something like that.
Okay, we gotta
get viral somehow.
There you go, Matt.
Look at that disintegrated brake pad. All right, you can prop that up on something.
Yeah, man, that's part of the brake pad. Is that?
This is.
Is that a second, or
this is the pad itself?
The material, and this is the backing.
Yeah, I'd say these were due for a replacement.
These are so shiny. It just feels wrong to be putting these on the car.
That's like the shiniest part of the car.
Yeah, that looks good though. Well, and they've even got the rust protection on the inner part. So, anyways, the big story is, do these fit? They look to.
What if you hold it up against this guy? Do they match?
Yep, that seems to be good.
I would say so, yeah.
What's going on now, Matt?
Well, we got this Pro Pack of brake pads, which apparently includes pads, hardware, and shims.
Does it really, Matt, though? Because
that's ghetto, man.
This is what you get for $8 at Rock Auto. All right, we got everything anti-seized back up, and we're gonna hook these rotors up.
Oh, that's so good. Now let's put the rusty caliper on there.
Yeah, you know what? We gotta
put these flaky brake pads in there first. And moved a little.
She's all the way in. All right. Boom.
Boom. Tighten her up.
Bottom hardware.
Not bad.
All right.
So we took a bit of time and we had to take apart these pins, top and bottom. Got them all greased up again because they were seized on there pretty bad. So we kind of had to hammer them off and use a giant pry bar. But we got them off, got them lubed up. They move nice and smooth now. This brake should be mint.
All right, so
we're getting to work on this one now. Haven't really touched much on it. I've loosened these two tins. That's it.
And this is how the brakes operate currently. There is one bolt in the caliper bracket, and it's about halfway in. So this is why we're going over this car completely and making sure everything is tight. Because we don't know.
Well, from past experience, we know when we buy a sketchy car, you got to go over every single bolt. All right, guys, first major problem of the day. We're trying to loosen the one bolt out and it actually sheared right off. So we got to figure out a way to get that out of there. So the idea right now is to weld a nut onto it and see if we can loosen it off once it's welded. All right, guys, well, we kind of knew this was gonna happen, but we ended up trying to drill out this bad boy right here, and the drill bit went way crooked on us. There is no saving this now. So we're gonna try and hitting up one of our EF buddies, see if he's got a spare one of these. In the meantime, we got a lot of other stuff to take care of.
Matt. You're talking about negative things.
We got
Positive
lots of
Test fit. That suits the car.
That's mint.
That's aero specific. Oh, that's good. Struts.
We've got new struts. We're gonna try installing these same, whatever these are called.
Coilover collars.
Coil sleeves, I don't know.
Yeah.
Lowering garbage. But it's what we got. It's what we're gonna work with. All right, guys, so a bit of an update. We have been fussing around with this for quite a while. We got the entire assembly off the car, got the strut disassembled with the spring and the coil assembly there. Now we've been working on trying to get this fork off of here, which, as you can imagine, was quite rusty. All right, fork is now on the new strut, and we got the collars put back the way they're supposed to be, because if you remember last time when I was adjusting them, the numbers on here were upside down. Well, now we've flipped it around the way it's supposed to be. Numbers are right side up. And I guess we're just gonna throw this back together.
Yeah.
All right, guys, here's another update. So we got everything put back together up here. I think this side is completely done now. We got everything bolted up, brakes done, suspension's done, got everything adjusted.
They are so light. All right, let's go find the right ones.
I'm so happy we found these this morning.
Good looking out, man, because
well, that ad just popped up online too, and I was like, dude, check these out. Boom. All right, guys, so front driver side's being a bit of a bugger, so we're gonna just leave that for now, and we want to get the rear finished up.
One eternity later.
we're getting there, Matt. We're getting so close, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, that was what, 2 hours?
probably. That was way too long for
Oh.
a crappy collar.
One more to go. All right, guys. Well, we finally got the rear struts finished on the CRX. It took a lot of time to get those coil sleeves off of the old ones and get them installed onto the new struts. So that took up most of our evening yesterday. And we did get started on the drums in the back too, which also gave us some problems. So I think we're gonna end the video here. Sorry it's kind of been all over the place. We basically jammed about a week worth of stuff into this video, but we're getting very close to being able to put the car on the ground and being able to drive it for the first time. So I think that's gonna be our goal for next time, is to get all these other little things buttoned up, get the brakes taken care of. We're still waiting on the rear lower control arms and just one brake caliper bracket for the front. And then we should be able to get everything put back together enough that we can get the car on the ground and take it for a test drive. So yeah, I think that's going to be our goal for next time. Thanks a lot for watching this video, guys, for sticking around this long. I know it was kind of a long one, but definitely if you're stoked about this build, give us a thumbs up, drop us a comment below, let us know what you think, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time.